Hey Fantastic You, welcome back. And if you're new to the channel, welcome, glad to have you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so we can be friends. Today we are going to make a rolled flower shadow box for Mom. So you can see I've got my template there. The 3 squares represent the 3 layers of a shadow box. The full outside layer, the backing pad layer, and then what you see through the glass layer. So line everything up so you know that it's going to fit through the glass layer. And that on this one is the white layer. So to do this, first I searched for letter M. And there's an easier way to do this, but I'm just going to show you in case you never remember and you want to do the big letters. Just search that letter. We're going to scroll through until I find the one that we used on this one. See, there's lots to choose from. There we go. We want that one. So when you click the 3 little dots, it says View Image Sets. Click that, and then click on the View Image Sets. We got our M. Let's find our O. There's our O. So we're going to add those to the canvas. Line them up, duplicate your M. Line it up on the other side. We're a little off. You'll most likely have to zoom in, but I'm going to weld these together. I'm going to unlock and make it 8 inches by 8 inches. Pull that one out. Let's put that one in there. So there, that sizing is good for what we're going to see through the window. This is going to be on the glass. Now, I've done Thank You for Being My Mom. I think that is very sweet. I've picked up a whole bunch of different fonts here. Whatever is going to work best for you. You know, a font can make or break a project. I went with, for this one, Cloud 9. So when you're going to do that, get it all lined up, and you have to always remember to do this with your fonts. You need to weld your fonts when you're cutting it with vinyl, because right now it's a basic cut, but each letter is individual. So that looks good there. Because I'm actually going to weld this all together, I'm only going to weld once. There. So that's how you do the mum. Now for rolled flowers, I find it easiest just to type in 3D flower, if I can spell it correctly. There it is. So it's already showing some here. Again, I click the 3 little dots, View Image Sets. Click on that, and it will show you the ones that twirl around. Those are the rolled flowers. So this is the actual flower I'm going to use. So what you need to make sure of before you print off a whole, or cut out, sorry, a whole bunch of flowers, is measure the depth of your shadow box. Mine is just over 1 inch deep. So you don't want to make your flower thicker than that, or it's going to get squished when you put it all together. I'm using 8.5 by 11 paper, so that's what's actually going to dictate how big my flower is going to be. So there we go. That will fit my standard sheet. And if you want to see how thick your rolled flower is going to be, just go to Shapes, grab a box. The box right now is 2 inches, and just line it up with your flower. So definitely half of 2 inches, so let's make it 1 inch. And I bet this is going to be about 1 inch, and that will be your final height as long as you roll tight. So I'm going to get everything cut out, and let's put this together. Here are our flowers cut out. So all the same size. We've got 5 colors in this pile, it's 65-pound cardstock. It is Recollections. They're all blues, but they range in color. They're softer blues. I didn't want like baby blue, but more of the softer one. And then I've also got this glitter cardstock here. This is Recollections as well. It came in a multi-pack, 4 colors, and it's called Blue Hues. So I've cut out 3 of each color of the 2 colors there. So 21 flowers altogether. I've cut out more than I need, and that just gives me a little bit of wiggle room as I'm putting them together. Now, if you've never put a rolled flower together, I'll show you real quick. They are very easy. So this works best if you have a reverse tweezer. So these are tweezers that are closed, and when you press on them, they open. Or if you have a quilling tool. But you just go to the outside of one, kind of get it lined up in there, fold it over, and you're just going to start rolling. Super easy. You want to try and keep it somewhat tight as you're going, but you also want to keep it even on the bottom, and just keep doing that until you get all the way through. Once you get the hang of it, it actually gets pretty easy to start to roll. And even if it's a little uneven, that's okay, because on the next step, you are going to be loosening it and playing with it a bit before you glue it. Some people will take their quilling tool out at about the halfway mark. It's up to you. I like to leave it in because I use the tweezers to help me roll it. But whatever works for you. So I usually take them out about there, and then I'll finish rolling by hand. So right now this is way too tight, so I'm going to kind of let go a bit. Take a peek at it. Make sure it looks nice. And you'll have to figure out the best way for you to hold it to do the next part. So you can do regular glue. I do my rolled flowers with hot glue. It's just easier. Put a little bit on the round tab. I try and center this one. And see, like, it's done. It's that quick, you don't have to hold it. Now, if you're going to do a pattern paper or a glitter paper, because unless you have scored and have a reversible paper, see, this one's not. You want your pattern, your glitter facing you, and then you start. And you're folding inwards. Your paper's probably going to tear for your first couple turns around, and that is fine. But roll it up the same way. I find that the glitter paper does tend to hold its shape a bit better, just because it's a little stiffer. Get my tweezers out of there. Let's finish spinning around. There we go. I think that's good. Bit of hot glue in the center there, and you don't need much. Again, we're just centering that the best you can. So the trick when you're doing glitter or pattern paper, you want to kind of fold out some of the petals. You can't do much because they're in there pretty tight, but you can go 2 to 3 rows in. So I'm on the second row here. Just getting into the third row. Just bend them back a bit. Help show off that gorgeous glitter paper. So there. I will get the rest of mine done, and then we'll come back and put this lovely shadow box together. Okay, I've got my flowers all rolled up. Now we're going to attach our vinyl onto the glass. Normally I do it when the box is put together, but because this is so big, it will just be too hard. I grabbed a gorgeous vinyl. This is Siser Glitter Night Sky. Hopefully that's picking up the glitter on there for you. It was just a single sheet that I picked up at my Michael's. Would love to have gotten it in a full roll, but they didn't have a roll, so next best thing, single sheet. Okay, our next part is attaching our rolled flowers. So I've gone through and kind of put them in how they fit best. Some of my leftover ones, they were just a little too tiny, so they were leaving too much of a gap. I do have some paper in behind there. Hopefully the camera's picking it up. I have put the box together backwards. So I'm just going to pull out a flower, glue the bottom, put it back in. And this way, you know you're going to have them in there evenly. You don't have to worry about them shifting because nothing is moving because it's in the full shadow box, less the glass. It's the only thing that's missing, and it's in there upside down. So I'm going to start with my corners. Then I'll slowly work my way out through the rest of them. Let me get this last one here. And again, I'm using hot glue. The paper that I have chosen is a decorative cardstock. It's probably about an 80-pound cardstock. Let me grab... Oh, I don't have an extra piece of it available, so I will do that so you can see it a bit better. But I'm going to get the rest of these glued in. I'm going to put the box back together, and then we'll have a final reveal. So there is the box all put together. Just a heads up, you'll have to do a bit of finagling to get the paper and the flowers kind of back in because the flowers are blooming, so they want to catch on the side of the shadow box. Just take your time and it will be super easy. Another thing to consider, when you're doing the vinyl on top versus the paper, make sure there's a decent contrast between them so you can read everything. So say I did a light blue vinyl, it would get lost with all the blue on there. That's why I went with a darker vinyl. So if you do light flowers, do a darker vinyl. If you do dark flowers, do a lighter vinyl. And then that contrast makes it a lot easier to see. But hopefully this video will help you make your own flower shadow box. It could be for anyone. It doesn't have to be for your mom, but that's the easiest way to put them together. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you. Until next time.